All right, here we are in the losers bracket finals of the Alpha Navigators Cup weekly number 22, and this is MSRM in the Blue Infernal, and he's up against his opponent Kel in the Red Infernal. Another Infernal versus Infernal here, and Hexen's passing in the night. No, one MSRM turns to take that pot shot. That's first hit, first blood. My prediction is that's the whole game right there. That Hexen Proud skin down a little bit less. We'll see how that works out. We'll see how this plays out. Now the Hexen making her way into the base of MSRM and scouting. Yep, I see. You've got a conclave on that high ground and a vault on the low ground, so I know exactly what you're doing now. I will teleport home just in time to shoot back. There we go. It's Hexen on Hexen violence, and it's extra shots now. Ooh, the tides have turned. That's right. Kel has got an extra shots, and now it's MSRM Hexen who's at lower white health. We'll keep our eye on this story as it advances. But for now, they've gone back to creeping. Now, here we have Kel saying, I don't mind fighting and fighting fair with my creeps. But MSRM is like, no, I attack them from the high ground and make them glitch out. I don't want to take any damage. Kel says, what are my Fellhogs going to do if they're just going to sit there bored if they're not going to tank some Shadow Mastiffs? But both of them clear out their speed camp there and heading off to their health camps. And it looks like both of them are going Gaunts to start out here. That MSRM has made 4 Gaunts, but only 2 out of Kel. And again, this seems like not a big difference. But what that does allow is Kel to get a quicker Ritual Chamber. We don't see a Ritual Chamber out yet. And get into that Plague Axis quicker. So there will be a moment here where Kel is just going to have that tech advantage. And if Kel is able to find that moment, that timing, and push out at the right moment, will maybe be able to do damage or win the game. Now, I love these little speedy Fellhogs. They're like, I want to run somewhere. Too bad I have to stay by the farm. Just let me run. Don't worry. After this battle, we will let you run. We've got the chamber done, and the Plague Axe timing, as I mentioned, we'll keep our eye on that one. It's almost completed. Now, still taking out this camp, which the Plague Axes are now completed. If you really want to do that timing, you want to be kind of on the ramp of your opponent when that Plague Axis hits. But instead, I think getting a sense that this push is coming, instead of going to the base, no, trying to get the camp, but this push from MSRM is in the base. One of those brutes is very weak. The imps are just trying to run away. And we're getting a couple Gaunts pumped out while the army makes its way back. But for those Plague Axes to work, you got to be on top of the Shroud. And indeed, managed to summon an effigy to get that Shroud. We have Plague Axes going down, or we see Infest rather, on all of these units. And now the Fiends are popping out. And this push from MSRM turns into a bit of a snowball from Kel. Now, if Kel can take this and get more of an advantage on it. Now, what is he going to do? Is he going to keep the push going, or is he going to try and just get more ahead? The 2 Fiends is turn around. That's annoying. That's super annoying, and it's a good way for MSRM to just try and slow this push a moment. There are brutes on the high ground here, and these Fiends actually get a good scout to know what kind of army are we up against. Is this something that I can do with, let's see here, 2, 4, 6, 7 Gaunts against already 6 Gaunt. That's not a winning army here. It's an annoying army. It might be able to kill this base. Honestly, I like the idea of focusing that base more than pushing up here. This was a bait from MSRM. MSRM is inviting Kel to get too far overextended in this base. Not sure why he didn't engage before that farm went down. But now, managing to get onto... Oh, he was probably waiting for his own Plague Axes. I did not see his own timing, but his own Plague Axes is now up. And now he's able to get on top of those gaunts. And actually, because he had the numbers there and a lot of the tanking was done by those brutes, we're seeing the advantage in his... And that's already a GG from Kel. Okay, and here we are now into game number 2. This one's going to be on Furious Resolve. We have Kel in the blue Infernal, again up against his opponent msrm in the red Infernal. And Furious Resolve, just a much bigger map, often leads to macro, although these Infernal matches we've been seeing so far have been decided often by early aggression. We'll see if that happens again. But we saw in those smaller maps, like Broken Crown, they were very slow to expand. And I think on Furious Resolve, you can just be a little bit more comfortable that maybe there's not going to be someone marching right across the map. It's a little longer rush distance, so you just buy yourself a few extra seconds in those defense. So we might see more macro here. We might see some shrines going down pretty quickly at the natural, as opposed to those delayed ones where we see this aggression. But we do have the Hexen on Hexen violence, and Kel's Hexen has chased msrm's back, has brought some brutes along. That's 2 brutes, so that tells me we got double vaults back here. No gaunts here for Kel, and is trying to use this heavy brute aggression to say, you know, I'm going to take this camp, this speed camp. And we saw this type of interaction earlier on Lost Hope, where the speed camp kind of gets fought over early on, and this aggression is right away. So I said maybe we're going to have macro, but no, we've got brutes in your base, brutes in your face. And interesting that msrm is just continuing to move back. I guess he wanted to get his second brute in the action. Now he has the advantage by numbers, but because of the good micro and focus fire there, we saw a couple gaunts going down, and in fact, Kel's units are already almost taken care of. The Hexen goes down too, and this is just a really nice army from msrm, and that's already a GG from Kel. I think that's an early GG, but